Hi guys. Today let's discuss about how to get your first NHS job. Our first job will be the most difficult one to get and will need a lot of patience, mainly because of the lack of NHS experience, delay in the GMC registration process, need for sponsorship and a visa as well, and the formalities and the changes required for a new country and the new processes along with it. I got some requests from few of you to explain on how to secure a job after GMC registration, whether it's better to join ST3 plus jobs straight ahead, what post to apply for, the procedure that I had followed after GMC, and at what level we should enter training. So, because of all these doubts, I thought I would make this video and explain the exact procedure that I had followed. This is a very important slide that we should understand before knowing how to apply for a job or at what level we should apply for. In the UK, after your primary medical qualification or MBBS, to become a consultant, it's a long path. So there are mainly two types of jobs, that is training jobs and non-training jobs. If you are in a proper training job, that is the training pathway to become the consultant in the UK, you will be moving from FI1, FI2, CT1, CT2 level into then the higher specialty training, that is from ST3 to ST6 or 8 depending on your specialty. Some specialty have lesser years for training in the higher specialty training, while some surgical specialty you'll have to train up to 8 years like in ENT. So, and likewise, once you progress, once you complete your exams, you become a consultant. That pathway is called the CCT pathway or the training pathway in the UK. Similarly, there is a non-training pathway as well, which has equal responsibility to each level, but they are not in a training a proper training schedule. So, if you are a person coming from abroad and you have just completed your MBBS, have 1 year internship, so you will be equivalent to a FI1 level. So, the best option for you will be to join a equivalent non-training job first, get an NHS experience, and then you can apply for training jobs, get selected, and then continue your training pathway. Otherwise, if you are comfortable with a non-training job, you can just maybe switch your jobs to CT1 level, CT2 level, ST3 level, like that. These are all equivalent posts, like having equivalent responsibility to the corresponding training jobs, but it's not on a training pathway. This is, I would suggest, this is what we should apply for rather than directly applying for training, because in a training job they expect more knowledge from us regarding the NHS protocols, the NHS way of treating patients. So our expectations will be very high, and then it will be very difficult for us to cope up if we are coming from abroad. So always it is better to join a non-training job first, get your NHS experience, and then apply for a training job while you are in the UK and get selected, and then you can continue your training if you are interested in getting a training job. So if you are a junior, as I said, depending on your experience, if you have 1 year internship experience, you can join FI1, or if you have a confident enough FI2, or if you have a few more years of experience, CT1 equivalent or CT2 equivalent jobs, you can join. If you are a person who have completed a training in a specialty, like in my case, I had done my post graduation in ENT, so we have some experience in that specialty. In that case, we can join something called as ST3 plus equivalent jobs, or specialty doctor jobs, where we have that experience, the required experience in that specific specialty, and therefore we are safer to work in a middle grade job. If you join a ST3 plus equivalent post, here also, after getting a bit of NHS experience, if you want to join the training, you can build up your portfolio and proper apply for a training job and get selected, and then continue your training from here. So even if you are joining as a non-trainee, don't think that you will be continuing as a non-trainee. You can anytime, once you got your application process sorted, once you get selected, you can always join the training job. To be frank, in ENT, I haven't seen many people after joining a non-training job getting selected into training, especially in the higher specialty training level. That means if you have completed your post graduation in India and then coming, if it is in a surgical specialty, it's a bit difficult to enter the ST3 plus higher specialty training pathway because we don't meet certain criteria. There are some negative points that we achieve, or and it's a big explanation. I'll try to explain about it in my future videos, but that is a difficult process to achieve. That also you should understand. Another way to become a consultant for non-trainees is called a CSER pathway. So it's an alternative to CCT. So CCT is a proper training pathway, while if you are a person with a high experience, then you can build up that experience while being in a non-training job, and you can prove your experience through the CSER pathway and become a consultant. Another way is some people who join as a specialty doctor, they become a specialist with years of experience, and the specialist also has almost like equal uh, rights as that of a consultant, but it's not completely right. You'll have to research what all things they can do and what they cannot, but that is also an option that you can have if you don't want to become a consultant in the UK. Likewise, some people will be very satisfied to be in a FI1 or FI2 level all in their career time. So that's also possible. If you are comfortable in your CT2 level, say, or ST3 level, or whatever level you are joining, if you're comfortable in that position, you can stay in that position as long as you want, if your job contracts allows you to be in that position. So that's also possible. Whatever level you are comfortable with, you can stay in that level, or you can upgrade in a non-trainee job pathway, or if you want to join a training, you can join that and then progress your career to become a consultant. I hope I haven't complicated this. I have tried to simplify it as much as I can, but still, if you have doubt, please comment in the comment box. Now that you have understood the basic difference between the training and non-training jobs, we will move on to the pathway on how to apply for non-training jobs in the UK. And as I said, that is the most preferred job that you should apply for as your first job in the UK. For applying for training jobs, it's a completely different website and a completely different way. It is something called as Oriel website, in which you should apply for training jobs. So that we are not going to discuss in this video. We are only focusing on the non-training jobs and at what level you should apply for. Basic thing that you should keep in mind is, after your apply, these are the levels that would be preferred for you to join in if you don't have much experience, and if you are a person after post graduation who has done a Royal College exam like MRCS, MRCP, I would suggest it is better to join ST3 plus level. To know at what time you should start applying for a job, you should have a proper planning and an idea about the time frame in mind. For example, in MRCS exams, it's better to do the OET exam between your part A and part B of MRCS. Once you have the MRCS part B results, you can quickly apply for your GMC registration, and then you can seriously look for jobs. In this pathway, I would say it is better to start applying for jobs once you have your MRCS part B results, so that once you get your GMC, then you can very seriously look into the job application process. The reason I'm saying you have to start the process here is because the application is a very lengthy thing, and it takes time to develop it to make it better, so that it's always better to start the process a bit earlier. Coming to the job sites, the main job sites are NHS jobs and track jobs. There are a few other sites as well, like NHS Scotland, Northern Ireland, etc. But personally, I haven't tried any of those. These are the only two sites in which I have made an application. You can try applying from agencies as well. Some names that I know of are BDI Resourcing, Remedium Partners, Midax, and IT Medicals. I'm not recommending any of them. Personally, I couldn't get any job from any of these agencies just because they didn't have any ENT vacancy. But in your case, if you are in some other specialty like emergency medicine, anesthesia, general medicine, they may have vacancies with them, and you can try applying through them as well. But personally, I don't know how good these agencies are, and I'm not recommending any one agency. One thing that you should keep in mind is the agencies usually do not charge you anything. They will be getting their fees from the NHS hospital itself, so we don't have to pay them anything, and they'll arrange the interview for us and help us in all along the process. Tips to apply effectively for your job: start making a profile as soon as possible and keep making modifications to make it better each time. Keep in mind that the application filling takes a lot of time, so you have to start the process as soon as you can. Apply for almost all eligible jobs in your field and be persistent in it. So that means every day I would suggest, once you start the process of job application, check the NHS job site and track job site every day for any upcoming vacancies and start the application process soon. Try contacting agencies side by side to know if they have any good job vacancies available. And for your first job in the NHS, I would suggest it could be anywhere in the UK. Do not be location specific, do not be choosy. Apply anywhere in the UK, and in that way, you will be getting more and more job chance. Apply jobs of the same level, and no need to apply as SHO just because it's your first job in the NHS. So I have seen few people suggesting in the IFG group in Facebook uh, to join as an SHO if it's your first job and then move on to a higher grade so that it will be comfortable for you. But I'm against it. I would suggest to you, if you are a person with post graduation or with experience in a particular field, it is always better to join the same level in which you are, or at least ST3 plus level if you are a senior. I won't suggest you to join as an SHO because I feel it is more difficult and it is more frustrating because you are a senior, then you will have to do all sorts of junior level jobs like cannulation and all, dealing with different kinds of patients. So I would suggest to join the same grade in which you are rather than joining in a junior level. Next is prefer a job with long-term contract. Non-training job as a first job in the NHS, as I have explained to you before. Prefer places outside London due to the cost of living. So if you're in London, you will get an additional enhancement because you're in London. It comes nearly 2,000 to 3,000 pounds, I guess, in a year. But it's always better to join somewhere outside the London as your first job because the total cost of living will be much less. Then prefer NHS jobs over private jobs. I have seen few people joining the private jobs as their first job in the UK. I have no much idea about it. I don't know how reliable it is because we are coming on a visa and it's preferred to be an NHS job because then we are sure of our job and all the other processes. So I would suggest to go for an NHS job over private job, but do your own research. Tips to get shortlisted for your interview. Try to boost yourself in your application and list out all the achievements that you had. I'm not telling to be far from reality, like at least that you can relate to yourself. Try to boost as much as you can. Boost on each of the talent that you had from your UG days to your JR ship, SR ship, or if you're a consultant, whatever level you are and whatever level you have gone through, what try to list out all the achievements that you had during that period. It may be medical related or even non-medical, like that shows your empathy, your leadership skills, anything like that. Try to match the application with the post and hospital vision. That means you have to go through the job description and the person specification given in each application. Uh, Always in the job advert, you will see these two things, that is job description and person specification. Go through it thoroughly and match your application which along with it. That is, it should complement the person specification. When you write that application, try to use the specific words that they are using, the specific talents that they want. If you feel that you have that talent, try to use it so that they will feel that you are a better match for that position. Don't wait till the last day of application. So always start applying very quickly as soon as you see the job advert, because as I said, even though you don't push the apply button finally, at least you need time to fill in uh, all the areas, all the questions, and it leaves a lot of time to think through it and to apply very effectively, except if you are near to your GMC registration date. That's because once you get your GMC registration, it boosts your the speed of your job that you're getting, job offers that you're getting once you have your GMC registration. So till then, your application, even though you are applying, you may be not hearing much from them because you don't have a GMC registration and they will be just rejecting your applications. But if you are going to a to a state where your GMC registration is coming in few days and the application date is not going to end by that day, then I would prefer to wait, get your GMC registration, and then apply on the last day of that application. Apply as many as jobs possible. It can be through these sites or it can be through agencies. Wherever possible, apply as many as jobs possible. Check the closing date of the job advert to understand when to expect the results. Usually you will hear after 2 to 4 weeks from the closing date of that job advert. And in the NHS job or track jobs, what I have seen is usually there is no place to attach your CV. Very rarely in few of the application they ask for your CV. Otherwise you will have to fill in the application process like separately. If they have a place to attach the CV, it would be better if you keep one ready. And if you are going through agencies, they may also need a CV. But otherwise, usually the NHS jobs or track jobs, they don't ask for a CV. Remember to use keywords on search. So it is very important. What I mean by this is, for example, if you are searching for a specialty doctor in ENT, say job like that, if you just type in the NHS job site as specialty doctor ENT, then very few jobs will come up. What I do personally is to break all these things and search separately. That is, I search for ENT, I'll just type ENT and search for all the jobs and go through it one by one. Then I search otology, then I search rhinology, then I search otorhinolaryngology, then laryngology, then head and neck. So I search each keyword separately, and sometimes by that different new jobs come up. I don't know why this happens, but I've seen it happening many times. If we just write trust grade job in ENT or specialty doctor job in ENT or registrar job in ENT, then very few jobs come up. But if you search like keyword by keyword, only if you put only one keyword and search jobs, then you will see many more jobs in these sites. Use bullet points rather than long paragraphs in your application. Supporting information section. So in your application, there will be a supporting information part at the last, and they will have given a lot of space to fill in. We will have a tendency, because we have already filled in so many things in the application, we will have a tendency to just skip that area. But this is the area where you can add on as much as information that they haven't got about you or they haven't asked about you. Whatever you feel you can boost in this place, what I would suggest is, uh, as as I told before, go through the person specification. If there is anything that they haven't covered through the questions, or if you feel you have you want to share any experience that you had, add all that in the supporting information place. It's very important. This is a place that you should concentrate the most, because this gives you an edge, because you are adding on few things that they haven't asked for. So if you feel that you have any achievements, or anything that you can mention, any experience, maybe you want to list out the surgeries that you have done or you are very thorough in. So all these things you can add on in the supporting information part. Most application gets saved and some questions may be additional, so that is one good thing in these sites. Once we do one application, few of the questions will be the same in the next one, so that usually automatically gets saved. Try to point out why you have applied for this job, the skills and qualities, how you match the best for that job, and what you can bring to this job while applying. Previous NHS experience helps, like clinical observership or electives. If you have done any, that would help in the application process. Audits, QIPs, research papers. So that's very important. They will specifically have questions on any of these, like audits or QIPs. So have an idea about what it is first. If you have done any, it's very good. Or else you can start doing an audit or QIP in your hospital, so that you have a better idea what it is, and you can, while in your interview process or even in your application process, you can say that you have started an audit on this particular thing and you are expecting this results. You will be doing a second cycle after so many months and all that. Next is teaching experience. So while your JR-ship or SR-ship, if you have done any bedside teaching or teaching students or any public awareness sessions, whatever you have done, add all that as your teaching experience. And if you can get any feedback from your students or maybe nurses, whoever you have taught, if you can get some feedback as well from them and keep it as an evidence, that is also good. And if you have attended courses like ATLS, BLS, ACLS, ALS, that also helps. I had done an ATLS just before application, my application. I don't know how much it helped in my application in getting shortlisted, but if you have done something like that, that will also help. Now, what jobs to apply for? So if you are in a junior doctor level, that is after your MBBS or PLAB exam, if you are planning to join as a junior doctor, then the names that they usually use for those posts are trust grade job, junior clinical fellow, foundation doctor, SHO, junior specialty registrar, research fellow. That may be in the description. You have to go and see at what equivalent level it is. It may be FI1, FI2 equivalent, CT1, CT2 equivalent. So whatever level it is, you can understand, and that these are the junior doctor positions. Coming to middle grade jobs, so if you're someone who has some experience or after your post graduation in some other country, if you're coming through the RCS route, then you can join the middle grade post like senior clinical fellow, registrar, LAS ST3 plus, ST3 plus post, senior research fellow, specialty doctor, junior specialist doctor hire. So in all that, again, go to the job description and see at what level the job is. Some words like these may be confusing, so always read the job description and see at what level that job uh, is at. I'll share some of my experience. In the NHS job site, I have done 6 applications. In track jobs, 13 applications, of which in total I got 3 interview calls, and all the 3 converted into 3 job offers. That is, one was a senior clinical fellow job and 2 were specialty doctor post, of which I selected one of the specialty doctor post. The one thing that I need to clarify here is the first job offer that I got, they contacted me few weeks later. So what I assume is they offered the job to some other candidate and maybe they rejected it and then it came on to me. But for the third and second job, they contacted me soon. So I think they selected me in the first go itself. Through the agencies, I didn't get any offers as I shared before. I hope this video helped you in understanding the NHS job application process. If you have any further queries, please comment in the comment box and I'll be happy to help you. Thank you.